Oh, God. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Hunt for the Paranormal Podcast. I am your host, Jose Anaya.
I'm Mike Padilla.
I am acidic Aaron.
Yay, we're all back again.
Hooray!
Right.
And welcome back for a brand new year, 2017. And it's going to be a fun year with us here.
Oh, hell yeah.
Talking about all sorts of creepy ghouls and
Yeah,
goblins.
a lot of things happened over our break.
Yeah. Aaron?
Okay. Well, on the episode before this, if you're watching this and you've been watching, watch the episode before where we point out that we found an EVP. When we were first, they were actually just having the conversation. Jose didn't hear it, but Mike did, and we didn't even bring it up because I didn't want to stop, the flow of talking until the end, where then I found out he actually heard the same thing I did, which it sounded like Matt's mother coming to the office and kind of like, oh, like, mom, like, oh, or is anybody here? In a sense, but like, I'm not too sure if she said
Something.
that,
It was something
but
was
it was
said.
in that kind of manner and tone where it would sound like a motherly figure calling out or as if talking to someone nearer. And then flash forward a couple weeks because, Matt, he automatically like, no, shut up. That my mom was here, kind of wrote it off. And then until like probably 2 weeks later, and there were him and Tiffany from Comics After Doc podcast. They were just in here talking, and they heard pretty much the same thing. And it kind of like freaked Matt out because he's like, wait a second. Like, my mom shouldn't be here. She's working at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, well, didn't write it off as that. Went and checked into the room. No one's here. No one's there. Okay, well, it sounded a little muffled. Maybe it was in the back area. No one was there. So same tone. That's what I was like. He's like, hey, I kind of heard something. I'm like, what would it sounded like? Like, oh, it sounded like my mom. And that's exactly how me and Mike heard it.
Disclaimer, we did not do no seances or anything.
Not
nothing,
but
nothing.
I did get permission.
Nothing at all. Yeah.
I did get permission from Matt to do a tarot card reading to see a little further into this.
Oh, shit.
So,
We shall see who we're gonna
and
do it on.
honestly, I used the guardian angels to do these kind of readings.
And that fits in so well
Yeah,
for
that's why.
today's
While I do the
today's
shuffling,
episode.
yeah. While I do the shuffling, let's hear your story, or go
Mike,
ahead and I'll let you know when I'm
you have
ready.
a good story for angels.
I was like on a 2-hour search for this. So pretty much it was back in like about 2011. That's when like the highest recording of tornadoes that happened during that time period. It was like over like 130, 128 tornadoes hit and pretty much in the Midwest, New York area.
Yeah.
Pretty much a tornado alley area. So this guy was a UPS truck driver, was driving, and all of a sudden a tornado hit, touchdown, and it was an F4 tornado.
Jesus.
Yeah. So homeboy, he's like crap panicking and whatnot, and so he was made it through under a bridge, and there was an incline to go under the street bridge. So he was just running up there, and he can just feel the wind just pulling him back. So it's pretty steep. So he made it up there, and then all of a sudden he sees a guy just chilling with a blanket and everything, just sitting on there. He's like, oh, come take over, blah blah blah. It's gonna be fine, don't worry, type of deal.
Yeah.
And so, the storm, the tornado was getting closer, so he like saw like a piece of rebar and whatnot holding tight, and a few minutes after, the tornado disappeared.
That's weird.
Yeah, well, it gets weirder. So, and all of a sudden, the guy still there chilling, just like sitting down, like it never fucking happened. He was like, yeah,
I do.
That's
he's like, everything's gonna be
told you,
fine.
man, everything's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
He's
like,
good.
my death day is December 24th. And I like, watch.
I ain't going down like that.
So he's like, I told you everything's gonna be fine. There's nothing to worry about. And all of a sudden, paramedics, everybody, like first call responders, arrived at the scene. And then they're asking, where's the fucking truck driver for the UPS truck? So all of a sudden he's like walking down. He's like, oh, I'm here, blah blah blah. Oh, are you okay? Yeah. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, where's the other guy? He's like, what other guy? And he's like, no, yeah, there was another guy, and the only way. And he looks back, the guy was gone. He went back up there, the guy was gone. The blanket the guy was sitting on, gone.
That's bizarre.
And he's like, the only way for someone to get out of that area where he was at, they had to walk together, or like he was like a few minutes behind him. Yeah, right behind him.
Yeah.
Vanished.
I don't know. I think that would still freak me out.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I don't know. That'd freak me out.
So I was like, wow, that is wow. I was like, crap.
That's the thing about the guardian angels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Do you guys believe guardian angels are really here to protect us?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
then if you have any story like that, you can always call in at 714.
684-1652. That's our line so people can come in and call. So if you have any stories revolving about angels or any kind of
Anything.
paranormal experiences,
Even
just give us a call.
UFOs.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your stories, whether they're scary or insightful, or even if
You're
you have
puzzled.
a good dream that kind of seemed more like a dream. Because in my understanding of dreams, it is astral projection. So if you have dreams where you felt like it was an angel or relative or anybody in that sense, don't think that just because it's a dream it has any less significance.
Yeah. And also, it's not just experiences, but if you want to get like our perspective, I guess you could say, on what it could possibly be or what you could possibly do to help yourself or help out in your situation.
Yeah.
So just give us a call. The number again is 714-684-1652.
And then,
We'll have it on the screen up here. So.
Generally, what I do with these cards is commune with the guardian angels. Either for myself, it would be my guardians, because a lot of cultures show that for every soul that's born, there is either one or two spirits assigned to guide them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we, as a culture, have kind of learned to ignore it and shut it out.
Not this guy.
Well, I love to do it. So, well, it's only recently that I started getting into it, and honestly, I was the biggest skeptic until I started, reading into it myself.
Yeah.
The first thing I asked is am I on the right path? Because I was raised Christian and grandparents Catholic, and where it's scary. It's very scary, especially to go against everything you were raised to believe. And especially in that dogma of it, if you believe anything else than what you're told or are told to believe, then you're automatically gonna be condemned for it in that religion. You're shattered. But the older I got, then the more I realized that if God's such an eternal being that made us all different for a reason, then why would he make one road to get to enlightenment? It just makes no sense to me. There's not one way to do anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's so many different ways and perspectives to see things in life.
Yeah, so that being said, I started reading into these cards, and for me, it's talking to your guardians, the ones looking out for you, and it could either be, characters like Jesus, the people that have healing abilities, the people that work with chakras, or even Mother Mary and stuff like that. They have guardian angels that have reached enlightenment that were once human. So it could be Mary, Jesus, Gandhi, figures like that are actually trying to get you to a higher plane.
Yeah, they're trying to help the human race open their mind.
Or it could be, family members, spirit animals. It could be a lot of different things depending on what you connect to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just shuffled the cards, and the whole time I was just thinking, okay, who are you, and what is here? All right, so let's see. I'm gonna just.
So let's try to find out and see if we can get any possible answers to what could possibly be in the studio. Something's trying to communicate. So
That'd be awesome.
yeah, that'd be pretty interesting though. So while he's doing that, do you mind if I read another quick story of a angel? It's called Guardian Angel Appears, from Trisha. When I was a child, I used to have a lot of nightmares. My mother told me to pray to God when I had these nightmares, and he would take them away. But sometimes these dreams were so frightening that I couldn't go back to sleep because I was afraid I would have it again. One day, my mom put a picture of Jesus upon my bedroom wall, and she said that he would protect me. I was comforted by the picture and my mom's gestures. When I would have a bad dream, I would pray to God, and when I fell asleep, the dreams would be gone. One night, I was awoke to a breeze in my room, and when I opened my eyes, there was a beautiful woman standing next to me. She wore a white gown and had a beautiful light to her. She never spoke, but I could feel that she was there to protect me. And after that night, I had no more nightmares, thanks to my guardian angel. So what do you think that could have been?
Guardian angel, yeah. Because
Could totally
it's
have
just
been one.
like I even read where like one magician to another or Wiccan to another, they suggested to get rid of the sleep paralysis. In order to stop that and bring up the barrier or those protective barriers, to just light a candle. And to me, that's just a way of tuning in with your guardians or just that power within yourself.
Yeah.
To do so.
Do you think when someone passes on, whether religion is accurate and what they say and everything, that certain spirits can turn into angels?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like scripture that carries that theory on. Like what's it? Well, in the idea of Christianity, because I grew up with it. Peter. I don't know if it's Peter. The guy at the gates who helped
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
He
Saint
was
Peter?
human, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was able to achieve being an angel, or like I would imagine so. Because
But I would think those would have to be the ones who live the purest of lives.
that's
here,
why
I
like
think.
it ties into where I believe in that idea of purgatory, or the idea of until we get it right. Like imagine we relive this life over and over and over as the same person, like tying into the multiverse theory that every decision we ever had or like choice we ever had, we made both decisions.
Yeah.
And in those realities, like who's good and enlightened here, like Gandhi here could have been the worst person. He could have been like a
Years
war
ago,
leader,
yeah.
Yeah.
Who's to say anything? Like we do it and maybe we relive our lives, and that's what deja vu is. And that we're just reflecting on just those imprints or those reflections where we're just doing it over and over and over until we get it right.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can remember it, and that's why some people do remember their past lives. But also the idea that you can also be a different person, because you have to live a different perspective and get that right as well. And until you
Gotcha.
do it a million times, because like even the Hinduists, they believe that the universe is created and destroyed a million times. So if there's a million different universes, that's very much true. Like where it's created, it's destroyed, and it just happens over and over and over. So in that idea, like we could all be like there's might be our guardian angels might be that version of ourselves that reach enlightenment. Like we've talked about that with the demons. That one that's trying to get enlightened, there could be another version of you trying to be that demon.
That's pretty.
And no
pretty
time, like
trippy.
that's what makes it confusing. And like with
It
philosophy,
does.
there's
It makes
no
it really,
idea of
really
time
confusing. And
space.
That's like a total mind fuck right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah, it really is. Like,
Well, think about this. Like,
so who
let's
knows
say-
what you might become
Yeah.
after you pass on?
Well, yeah, like let's say your first life as a human being was in the year 3079.
Yeah.
Or where it's good. It's almost like heaven. But you become a like
Yeah.
you become a bad person.
Yeah.
So and so rather than
it's kind of like the same thing where
but imagine like in your next life from that point you're taken to World War II. Where you're in maybe one of those countries or a refugee where it's living hell. So you get like a worse life, and it goes like back and forth.
So
back and
that could
forth.
be the other form of heaven and hell type of thing.
Yeah, because what if like the earlier years or those worst times on this earth is like moments of actual hell, and then hopefully
the whole Black Plague.
What I thought would be cool is maybe we do reach a point in our civilization where we can give to everybody what balance and just heaven on earth.
Yeah.
And there's theories, but I'm saying 5,200. Like who knows?
Yeah.
that's so hard to achieve though.
Oh yeah.
Anyways.
It is. It is.
But with technology and with enlightenment or understanding and knowledge, it's possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the strength card and it's actually flipped upside down. So to each his but I'm getting this as a reflection of what it is rather than if it is here or not. It shows the strength card, which I'll post a picture up on it so you can see it clearly. But when flipped upside down, kind of rather than the man overcoming the beast, it's the beast overcoming the man.
Yeah.
In a sense. So maybe that's what this person is. It's kind of falling under those graces, because this is what the reading shows for it. A man possessing incredible strength imposes his will on a wild beast. The man must beware, for what he seeks to control may ultimately overcome him. And then the upright meaning usually is power, strength from within, endurance. But when it's upside down, it's defeat and surrender. And that's just like a reflection of what I think this spirit feels. And so we can always do another card. and see what this one means. And it says the Wheel of Fortune. And like, what do you guys think of that in that sense? What came in your mind when I said that?
The Wheel of Fortune?
No, the first one with the strength and like everything I was saying about surrender and defeat.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to.
Because with intuition, so you see these images and you hear these things, and it's whatever you need to hear to make a connection. So if you see or any like thing flashes in your head, that's intuition.
I think the whatever spirit or identity what's here. I think it's like fuck. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
It's like what
Could it have just possibly like stumbled in here by accident?
Well, that's what we already like determined when we did the reading, showing that like Matt has a cemetery right over the street. You know, it's right down the block, a couple houses down, and since it's so close that things tend to wander.
Yeah.
So it could just be someone there and just coming into this area, especially since we tend to acknowledge these kind of things, or Matt seems to be somewhat of a sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
they
maybe
brought chips.
yeah, we discussed this a couple times where since we see him or we're trying to see him or since he is able to like hear it, because I was able to hear it, you were able to hear it, you weren't.
I wasn't, which is strange.
But you have to like what I was saying about intuition, you got to be able to like pay attention to those signs, and like once you start listening to yourself, you'll start to hear others. So with the Wheel of Fortune, which did come upside down as well, a gypsy stares into the future with a blank gaze. She spins the wheel for an uneasy citizen who wishes to know his own fate.
Okay, so they're in general saying she, and you guys heard a woman's voice.
I didn't even catch that. And it is a woman spinning the wheel, and it's kind of like what came into my mind is like one of our friends just found out that he's gonna have some life changes. He's got a baby on the way, and which is funny. So right now, I think
maybe
there's a lot of worry there.
Maybe it's his guardian angel.
It could be that. But let's see what it explains further when it's in the reverse meaning. So because he wishes, like he's kind of worried. I think that is it going to work out? Is all this going to work out? So it's a natural thing. So since maybe he's feeling that way, he feels vulnerable. Reverse meaning: unfortunate event, unexpected results. So and that could be his view of it. So. Maybe they are trying to help them, and that's generally why I use these cards. So let's see even further, and if you have another story.
I think there's another one in here. Angel of Protection.
Ooh.
So there's a little bit longer one. Or should I read the Saved by Angels?
Saved by Angels.
That's chill.
Saved by Angels. From T.L. San Luis Obispo. In March of 1995, the Angels told me that I was going to be involved in a serious head-on car accident, and that they would protect me and I would be all right. This was the first time I had to direct experience of the Angels. They assured me I would not be hurt and told me not to worry. Despite their loving presence and assurance, I deliberately pulled over to delay my travels for 20 minutes, thinking that if I did this, I could change my fate and avoid the accident. As I was driving along at 55 miles per hour on the freeway, a man came across the divider and hit my car, crashing into the driver's side door. As my car slid across the freeway, the accident continued to worsen and caused 5-car pileup. Some of the cars flipped over and several people died due to the severity of impacts. However, all the while I was not afraid. I knew the Angels were taking care of everything and I felt completely at peace. There were a few military reserve people involved in the accident, and they helped me out of the wreckage of my car as the 3 ambulances and the highway patrol officers were arriving on the scene. Later, as I was standing next to my car, an officer said, "How terrible, the driver of this car must have been killed." And I replied, "Oh no, I was the driver." He shook his head no, looked at the car again and to inspect the damage of the driver's side, and insisted that the driver would have definitely been killed. Even the tow truck driver, when we were arranging to remove the vehicle, offered the consoling words, "I am so sorry for the loss in your family." He had never seen a wreck like that where the driver's side had survived. Despite the obvious conclusion that I have been dead from such a horrible accident, I came through the accident without even a single cut. I felt a few slivers of glass in my hair later when I washed it. The glass was embedded in the car seat when I returned to look at it, but I was completely unscathed. I would never have reacted to the peaceful way I did without that guidance. I believe in the Angels. I know without a doubt that they are watching over me. So that's pretty weird. So broken shattered glass was in the seat where he was sitting.
That's
Like
crazy.
as if it went through him.
Yeah. But yet nothing happened. He just had some in his hair.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's even showing like where it can defy the laws of physics.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking
pretty
scary, man.
Okay, so we got another negative card on this one.
Uh-oh.
Well, first one I'm gonna reflect on the first card. We got strength, which was a anti-strength since it was upside down. So maybe defeat.
Yeah.
Cheated by fate with the Wheel of Fortune upside down. And then another one we have here with the Two of Cups. And here's Midnight has been tempted by death, and a pact has been made between the two lovers. Raising two cups, they toast the bond of their union. Love, harmony. For the reverse meaning, it's actually false love, broken relationships, conflicted interests. So I'm getting this person like either died of a broken heart or was cheated by somebody and kind of blames fate and just not moving on.
So unsolved business.
Yeah, and that kind of like, in a way, kind of, it's funny that it sounds like Matt's mom because from like the stories, there's just a little bit like similarities there with the past. So maybe she feels the same thing and it's kind of coming towards it.
Like,
you know?
Yeah.
So they tend to do that. Like if they feel something in common, maybe that's why it's coming in this direction. But I'm going to try to get a little bit more specific on the next card and say like,
Hey,
what
Mike,
do you want?
You want to do me a quick favor?
Yeah.
Get the passcode for this from
The craft. And while we do that, I'll start my next story with the background. Okay, so to start off the story, we'll start with some backstory. Back when I was about 13 years old, I had an uncle that was living out in Philadelphia. And he was suffering from opiate addiction, so painkillers, all that, like which happens every day, and that's a big issue with the country right now. Is the fact that big pharma has got us all stuck on, oh, you got a headache? Here you go, take some Xanax. So we were taking him out, and my mom was, needless to say, was freaked out, a little afraid because she had me as 13, my little sister who was probably like 7 or 6 years old, and then my little brother who was about 4. And bringing him out, and then, like even with my parents, just before their divorce, so there was a lot of like inner demons in there, which like I don't talk to my dad, so it evolved more. So in a lot of ways, what came in her dreams won in a lot of ways, but it was one battle, and it's been cut off since that leash and shit we've been talking about before. So while he was about to come, she had a nightmare. And with the idea and the symbolism behind it, it makes a lot of sense because it starts off and she's like walking in these catacombs, and there's 2 people behind her, and that's what I think are the guardians. Because she didn't turn around, she didn't see them, but she heard them, and they're right there, like one over one shoulder, the other over her other. And it was like a man and a woman. Yeah. But all she remembers is like, don't listen to him. Whatever you do, he's going to try to tempt you. He's going to try to tell you things. Don't listen. Whatever he's saying, don't listen. Like, you have the power. Like, you can do this. Like, don't. He's going to try to, like, trick you. Don't. He's a liar. Yeah. So you already know what's coming. Yeah. And then these catacombs, if you've seen the interview of the vampire, the catacombs where all the vampires live in France, it looks like that. That's how she describes it, where it's big, like, pathways that Ninja Turtles could, like, it's a mansion version of what they had. And it's all dark, and just there's people like standing within the hallways, and they come up to a room, and they're like, we can't go with you any further. And so at this point she walks into the room, and it's just like a certain, like, I imagine it like the Clown when they go in, it's a big circular sewer drain, and there's a big like pipe in the middle, but as like the well would be up in the middle front, it has a cage that comes out from the ceiling and tapers off. So like, let's imagine you threw like a bag into the well, it would get stuck in this grate. So from that she could see it, and it's about from like half, like from your knee down, and she could see just like a little bird, just a little bird in there, and it's kind of like nothing really came from it, no fear, nothing. Next thing she knows, she's back in the hallway. And they're walking down again. And they're telling her again, just the same stuff. Do not listen to them. Whatever you hear, just don't listen. We can't help you any further. And then she goes into the room again. But this time, there's like bloody feet where it was. And it's still like half a bird.
That's
but you
weird.
just like see these feet. Yeah. And the same thing. It kind of just jumps in time and she's back in the hallway. Same thing. They talk to her, don't listen to this thing. No matter what you do, just don't listen. So this time when she goes into the room, it's a little boy. And he's covered in blood. He's got blonde hair and like the bluest eyes. Beautiful, beautiful little boy, but he's just covered in blood. And he's in this grade where you can only see like the lower ankles, and he's kind of like down in the bars where you see his feet and you see his head, and he's just like looking, he's just like there, and he's just staring at her. And like she knew instantly, and he was like murmuring something to himself, and like it wasn't even a language she could understand.
Yeah.
But she tried to like listen for a moment, and then like she heard the voice in her, "Don't do it, like don't listen,
Yeah.
like don't even try." Like, so she stopped, and it like clicked in her head. She's like, "You know what? I know who you are." And then the eyes, like the way she described it, the eyes contort in an unnatural way where like they stretch out like that, like. And it's shocked that she's doing it, and like a gestured clown with the like diamond eyes, it kind of like stretches unnaturally, where like it didn't like that she was saying that.
No.
Fuck that.
Yeah, she's like, I know who you are. Like, you think you're brave coming to me like this or like that, and she's like, in the name of. And then as soon as she got to that, she woke up. Yeah, so she didn't even get the opportunity to say the name.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and she freaked out,
freak out
woke
too.
up my dad, wake up, and told him the dream, and like,
Petty
told me the
fucking
dream.
thoughts.
Like, yeah, so that's my like dream story that my mom told me back in the day, where I think, it could have been the devil, it could have been just something that was
That's
dark
crazy.
and
That's
trying
weird.
to take advantage of her fear.
Yeah. I don't know, that's
so
bizarre,
crazy.
dude. So should we get
Yeah, well, I got the nine. I wanted to ask what this thing was, or what it wants.
Yeah.
So I got the Nine of Pentacles, which represents things material. Pentacles, anytime it's like money, material, things you could have had in this life. It also represents Earth. So yeah, things in this realm. It's the one most tied to earthly possessions. So I automatically, and that was the last card as well. Well, more emotional. So that was in the sense of, I think, how she got to her point was betrayal, and now what she wants is something in the material world, and that's probably why she's not moving on.
Yeah.
So the Nine of Pentacles, an affluent woman, another woman, strolls through the city streets accompanied by her small pet. Nine of Pentacles glide down from the sky, encircling her in a display of material wealth. So the upright meaning is like, and I asked what she wanted: material good, fortune, a wealthy and independent female, a pet lover. So yeah, she wants her life back.
Yeah. So she's just clinging on. She's staying behind.
Yeah,
Probably just
and it's
clinging
sad.
on.
It's really sad in that sense.
We should
Gotta
probably
help
try to help her move on.
Yeah, well, I can look up some stuff on like helping transition, because that seems what it is. Like maybe just afraid to go to the other side.
Yeah.
And start over, because what if she starts her life and gets another chance at it, or maybe she tries it as another person. If you have any rituals or things that come to your mind, I'd love to hear that.
At the moment,
No.
no, really. I'm
Well, because I know more banishing, and I'm like in the sense of protection. So I'll do some research, but I know there are some angels that we can call and help with that. I think there's Jeremiah, which is like the angel of death, is a transitional kind of spirit.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I think.
Because not always the
banishing.
angel of death means something horrific. No,
Just
it's just
like Osiris.
Yeah, he's,
he was the
he-
gatekeeper.
yeah. He'll help you through the passage.
Yeah.
He'll walk you through it. He'll show you the steps, the 12 steps.
But yeah, that was
I've gone through the
interesting.
12
Each
steps.
card here I will post up on while we're talking on the YouTube. So if you want to see the cards and how they look, go ahead and check out the YouTube on this if you listen on the website. Otherwise, always feel free to give us a call at 714-684-1652, because we'd love to hear your stories just like the one I just told. If you have any dreams that may have been psychic attacks, or even like if you had a cousin or a friend's friend. Most of the stories I have is not my own stories, but stories that I've been told. Or even if you know urban legends, like I'd love to hear those as well.
We love urban legends or folklores, and anything. Or if there's something you think that we haven't heard of before, let us know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're down.
Let us know.
We're down to look. This whole experience is like.
It's opening us up more.
Yeah, it's like hence the name,
Definitely.
Hunt for the Paranormal. If you want to know the truth.
Hunting for everything. And speaking of the truth, we got a caller.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll listen to the message that she left us, and we'll see what you guys think.
Hi, I'm on Facebook under Kathy Papp, and my nephew Brett Barker told me about a podcast for the paranormal. I have a ghost hunting troupe, and for years I've been able to see and hear things that other people can't. The one story that comes to mind that I actually have pictures to back up was going to a cemetery one night.
That happens.
Excuse me.
It's life.
And while going through the cemetery, we got a picture of a little boy standing between two stones, and in the next picture, he's skipping away. There was nobody there but the three of us. I'm sorry, I've got a cold, and if you could call me back at 612-499-0991, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll have her call in. I'll get the pictures for that too. I'll have her do like a pre-recording. Yeah, sorry about that. We'll have her do a pre-recording. I'll have her email to me because I do know her nephew Brett Barker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's actually going to be the one
that'd be crazy.
to help us out with something.
Yeah, we'll have her call in live and stuff too. If
we
can.
We can always plan that out. I'll let her know.
I'm talking to other mediums.
That way we can actually talk to her and actually pull out a little bit more from it. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But thank you, Kathy, for calling
thank you,
in.
Kathy.
Yeah, awesome. Very, very appreciated. And like, if you guys have any phone call, like, don't be shy, don't be nervous. There's really no reason.
Yeah,
I was afraid very much when I first started this. And
I still get freaked out from time to time. You know, well, Mike's been with me during those investigations. We get pretty freaked out. We're like, dude, what's that? What's going on? I think that's the weirdest thing is hearing things around you like footsteps and you can't see them or explain them.
Well, because it's just a natural part of your like survival instinct, like to make sense or to place something to what caused it, and when you can't do it, it's just like does not compute, and it freaks you out.
No, my downfall is now it's me. It's like, where is it? Is it good? Is it bad? I think it's bad. I'm gonna go find it and fuck it up.
Well, yeah, we automatically assume that like the thing is the worst thing, and what we found out today with the readings and what we're experiencing here at the studio is that it's kind of a sad story, and it's lost and just it doesn't want to go. But that being said, like we said before, the longer this thing stays and the longer it goes, the more resentful it'll become. Yeah, if it doesn't find what it wants, and what it wants is life, and that's you can't get that. That's just the balance.
It's definitely out there.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think with that said, I think we'll end it here for now, and we'll continue this. Another episode.
What would be our next episode?
What do you guys think? How about we try to let the fans decide?
Yeah, we'll leave this out.
Yeah, definitely.
Check out our Facebook Hunt for the Paranormal.
Hunt for the Paranormal.
Check out The Great Dead Pulio on Instagram. And then Hooray for Jose on Instagram.
HURRAYFORJOSE.
For mine, it's Acidic Aaron. So that's like acid, ACIDIC _ Aaron, AARON.
Yeah, mine's The Great Dead Pulio, _great _
We're all tagged under each other's like photos, so it's a
lot
easier.
You'll see it.
You can even Google Acidic Aaron, and a lot of the things will come up, and I'm linked with everybody, so feel free.
Sweet.
And shout out to Growing Up and Not Growing Old, and also the Superiority Complex, the hashtag show via YouTube,
which I'm also a writer of.
Oh yes, you are.
Sometime I do post some creepy things, like I did a Lechuza article showing that witch and what it could do and how to protect yourself. I also do some fun things, like if you're horror fans and like Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, or even don't know what that is, it's a comic book carrying on the great horror movies of the 80s and stuff like that. So I tend to write a lot of that kind of stuff, or horror comics in general.
Sweet.
Nice. Also, shout out to Third Party Controller, Bats Podcast, Shane Gray Live, and
Lyft.
Also, Lyft.
Yeah, Lyft. We actually got a promo code. You get 10 rides and $5 off for those rides. So promo is RHP, Rat House Productions, but just the letters.
Just use RHP
HP
to get your discount.
Yeah, so don't be stupid.
We get a kick from that. So please, if you do use it, or you can always send a donation to our podcast on the website, because that helps us, fund this. We got new mics, we got new cables, so we don't hear the static anymore.
Yes,
and we want to thank the people that did
that
give
contributed.
us and with the more we get, the more we can do. Like
and
go
we'll make it better.
cross state and visit some scary places, or even to Queen Mary. But all this stuff comes out of our own pocket, so it's very much appreciated. And we do have a new sponsor, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Geek Fuel.
Geek Fuel. Yeah.
Geek Fuel and Audible.
Yeah.
So for all those creepy stories that you guys like to hear but don't want to read, use Audible.
Oh yeah. Also, all of us are going to be doing voiceover ebooks for Audible and certain things like that. So since Edgar Allan Poe is free domain, we're going to start off with stuff like that.
I'm down.
So we're going to do not just audiobooks, but full production, sound effects, music, everything. So it's like an old school radio.
I say we got to do the Casa Montalado.
I'll also be doing one of my stories that I have available on Amazon, The Circus of Woe, which is if you're afraid of clowns, you're going to like this one. So it's going to be fun, and we got a lot of things in the work. We actually just did, me and Matt did a special segment of open up a horror block. We'll be putting that up as well, and I think you guys like it. If you guys want to get the next box, then that'd be cool, because we got a lot of different things all related to the paranormal and supernatural.
Yep.
So stay tuned.
Remember the number again for anything you guys want to tell us or share. It's a 714-684-1652.
Yep, and also remember, leave voicemail or you text us. So.
Or even an email.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Later, guys.
Have a good one.